Welcome to the readings for December. Today's been kind of an odd day. Still recovering from whatever crud it was that I acquired. Anyway, we're here. That's the main thing. A little bit red about the gills, but we're here. Today's readings are brand new for the month, of course. And the cover of the readings, not the magazine, the cover of the readings says, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you and Lamotte. That's kind of cool, right? Because, I mean, we all know from using electronics and tech that sometimes all you have to do is reboot it and it works again. So there you are. Today's readings are from Michael Gott, Rev Doctor. And even though I know who he is, I'm going to read what it says here. He is, anyway, it says he's been writing and performing in the New Thought arena music scene for more than 20 years. True. He's a pretty good artist, actually. He recorded 11 albums and received numerous honors, including a doctorate from Centers for Spiritual Living, hence Reverend Michael, Reverend Dr. Michael. Where are we? In 2009, he completed a master's program with Holmes Institute and became a CSL ordained minister. Same program I went through a little bit later. He says, today he's the senior minister at Unity of Houston, following in the esteemed lineage of Howard Caesar, Sig Paulson, and John Rankin, and he continues his traveling ministry, speaking and singing in spiritual centers and conferences throughout the world. And he actually came to our spiritual centers for a couple of ordinations, including Reverend Lisa and me. Anyway, so he says about this month's readings, growth, evolution, healing, becoming. These words all convey a process. He says, with intention, practice, and grace, our spirituality deepens over time. Our faith grows stronger. Our intuition actually becomes keener, and our conscious contact with spirit becomes more present. We become more present. He says, I heard someone say that time is a gift. Why? Because it saves us from having to experience everything all at once, like the eternal now. There is something beautiful in this temporal experience. He says, though we are eternal, deathless, changeless expressions of the divine, we also reveal that essential spiritual nature, that we are in time. And he says, and so our life has seasons, chapters, and stages. We are being revealed. It's best not to cling, but it seems we all still do that from time to time. If we can trust the current in the river of life, flow more, struggle less, we will discover more and more of its beauty and its power, letting go of what we no longer need. Yes, and embracing the new as it meets us on our journey. And that is his introduction. Oh no, that's his introduction to this month's readings. And here is the reading for today. And I apologize if I'm a bit nasal, but hey, happens now and again, right? First quote is from someone almost all of you have heard of, the great poet Rumi. You know, we find loads of quotes from Rumi. Why? Because he is such a wonderful poet. And he says, as you start to walk on the way appears. As you start to walk on the way appears. And we've heard that expressed in lots of different ways. You know, have faith, move ahead, and the path will open for you. So, lots of different ways. And the next quote is from, it's actually a combination of people, richer living. It's Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker, two of the great leading lights in the New Thought movement in the 20th century. It says, humanity is divinity made visible. Humanity is divinity made visible. And then this is a little bit about our great writer for this month, who says, I began my studies in New Thought and Science of Mind in the fall of 1993, 32 years ago. So Michael began his a lot more before mine. Says, my mind cannot quite accept that it's been so long. Science demonstrates that our perception of the passage of time changes as we age. We experience it moving faster and faster. But it's also hard to accept because sometimes I still feel like a beginner. In each and every one of these 32 years, I learned some new insight or application of these transformational teachings and practices, yet that have made me think, quote, how have I been doing this all this time without knowing this part? And he goes on to say, I'm truly comforted by seeing my spiritual growth through an evolutionary lens. He says, no matter how far I've come, there's still so much more for me to experience in my personal healing. He says, my dearest friend Maggie Cole and I have an ongoing, good-natured argument about her desire to depart this world, quote, clean as a whistle, unquote, to have released every false belief and limiting thoughts before her last breath. Maggie is a gifted practitioner and teacher in our movement. She has achieved great things in consciousness, and I teasingly ask her, so, you think you can now embody the entirety of the infinite potentiality of the cosmos? We laugh. But for me, there's a point. If God is infinite, then my journey of revealing God in, through, and as me is also infinite. And there's nothing we need to add, only things we need to release so our divine light can be revealed. And that's his thoughts for the day for the 1st of December 2025. So another way of expressing that is we're all on an eternal journey of discovery, self-discovery. And because the divine is infinite, there is no limit and no end time to our continuing to develop. And Ernest Holmes also said this. He said it slightly different ways. He believed that we will continue to evolve forever. We will be moving upwards and upwards in spirals of learning. And of course, as I said before, a spiral indicates you go up, you learn something, you come down a bit. Ah, yes, I'll learn some more. You go up again, and then you come down again. But the general direction of the spiral is upward. So that's kind of how I look at it. He gave us a bunch of affirmations. I'm just giving you one. I'm willing to release anything that stands in the way of my authentic expression of divine grace and power. I am willing to release anything that stands in the way of my authentic expression of divine grace and power. And that's it for today. Just a quick thing. Coming up in January, we have a couple of classes starting that are sponsored by our center, created by Spiritual Center, but there's potentially students from all around the world who've expressed interest in this so far. One is a basic course about science of mind and new thoughts in general, or our way of looking at life, if you like. And the other one is a more advanced one. It's called Treatments and Meditation. And the other one that I'm actually helping to teach is really just the basic ideas of what Ernest Holmes and more New Thought leaders taught, but it's a way of learning about it and practicing it and finding more about yourself. So I'll give you more information about those in the near future. Probably start posting stuff so you can actually read something, and then if you want to sign up, the link will be there for you to sign up. So it's over a month away, but you know, we can never start too soon. If you or anyone you know is interested in learning these things, that will be a great thing. Feel free to text me, email me, as you wish. And I've really done enough for today, I think, except I have to attend a class tonight. I don't know if I'll survive the whole class, but there you are. So my knowingness for each one here is that as they progress through life, they truly find more and more about themselves and about the truth of who they are as expressions of the divine. And this prayer I release into that divine mind that always says yes. And with gratitude I say, and so it is.